I've been thinking about it a lot, and dinosaurs just don't work in Edison format. I think it's time to move. Oh my god. Oh my god. Inside of all of us, there are two dinosaur players. One that accepts that Hydrogeddon is the best dinosaur card in Edison format. And one that sees something more. This one tries to summon Super Ancient Dino Beast, tries to activate Chain Destruction on the summon of Babycerasaurus, and for years, the former has laughed. They say, the best play dinosaurs can do is normal summon a 1900 attack normal monster and set a floodgate. But what if I told you the actual best play dinosaurs can do is a 9000 attack OTK with removal? What would you say to that? Is it possible? Yes. I'm happy to announce that the days of Floodgate Turbo are officially over. And thanks to the incredible work of Outback, YGO, and myself, combo dinosaurs are officially viable in Edison format. And I don't want to say this too early, but I think this is without a doubt the best way to play dinosaurs in Edison format, in my opinion. And although my opinion has been wrong many times in the past, I have taken the big evolution pill. This deck is very good. Without further ado, introducing KFC, Kuraz Fossil Dig Combo. I've got to probably work on the name, but behold the deck list. So much to talk about, but let's start back at the beginning. After my Ojam incident, I knew the next cursed tech had to be good, so I got to work on this Dino Hero deck with Wildheart. And as I'm working on that, I get a message from Outback YGO with a crazy idea. By the way, this list is basically Outback YGO's baby, so please go subscribe to him and beg him to make Edison content, because his mind is responsible for some of the most cursed ideas. Now, my cursed antenna was immediately beeping when I heard about this idea because, well, I am always looking for any excuse to blow up a baby. I probably shouldn't. Anyway, so we got to work grinding the list, and it was in a dire state. There was one incredible combo, a lot of pieces around it. There were some highs and some definite lows, but over time the list started falling into place. Heck, we even got the dinosaur legend Giant Skyhawk to come in to the labbing session, and I mean, he's the original gilasaurus lover, so I was just starstruck.
Gilasaurus helps with OTKs, it helps with consistency, and it helps play through the most common disruption people are siding against you. It is the best card on the list, you must play it, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise.
God, I hate hearing this.
Things reached a stall point. We were about to cash out, turn in the chips at the casino, and then three incredible cards tied the entire deck together. Graceful Revival, Magic Planter, and Quickdraw Synchron. Behold the version I am settled on at the moment, but thanks to the rate we were going and Outback's brilliant mind, I assume this will continue to get labbed out and the combos will continue to be developed. But yeah, speaking of the combos, let me start off with a few of the combos this deck is trying to do, and then we'll get into the card by card. The core 2.5 card combo of this deck is activating Limit Reverse or Graceful Revival, summoning back a Babycerasaurus, and then activating Magic Planter to send that card to the graveyard. You draw 2 cards, the Babycerasaurus is destroyed, and you can summon out any level 4 lower dinosaur from the deck. The deck has a lot of half card combos because it really relies on having a Babycerasaurus in the graveyard. Next up is Kuraz, which is slightly worse than Planter, but still a decent inclusion in this deck. You just activate Limit Reverse, bring back a baby, tribute summon Kuraz, target the baby and the Limit Reverse, draw 2 cards, and then summon a dinosaur out of the deck with the baby. Now we have the Trident Dragion OTK. This 3.5 card combo is the core of this deck. All you need is a baby in the graveyard, a debris in hand, and 2 revival traps on the field. You summon the Debris Dragon, summon back the babycerasaurus, make an Iron Chain Dragon with both of those cards. Then you activate Limit Reverse, bring back the Debris Dragon. You activate the other revival trap to bring back the baby. You then synchro summon the Iron Chain and the Debris Dragon into Trident Dragion, pop the baby and the revival trap. Dragion gets 2 more attacks, and you summon out a Hyper Hammerhead from the deck, which can clear the way of whatever monster your opponent has. While that OTK only works with 3.5 cards, a similar combo works with 2.5. All you need is a Debris Dragon, a Limit Reverse, and a baby in the graveyard. You summon the debris, bring back the baby, make Iron Chain, use Limit Reverse, bring back the debris, make the Trident Dragion, and pop the Limit Reverse that is on the field, and now that card has 2 attacks, and that is 6,000 damage for 2.5 cards, which is not too bad. The next one is my personal favorite in the deck because it flexes the dinosaur engine in such a fun way, and it uses Gilasaurus. It is another 2.5 card combo because you need Baby in the grave, and then you need a Debris Dragon and a Fossil Dig. You can normal summon the Debris Dragon, bring back the baby, activate Fossil Dig to get the Gilasaurus to your hand, special summon the Gilasaurus, and no matter what your opponent brings up, you're going to be going into Black Rose Dragon, which will blow up the field, including your babycerasaurus. And then because that babycerasaurus's effects were only negated on the field, it can summon out a dinosaur from the deck for follow-up. I think the coolest part about this combo and this deck in particular is you have easy access to a quick Black Rose Dragon. Even with no setup in the graveyard, normal summon debris, Fossil Dig for Gilasaurus, special summon is just a Black Rose, which is very important in the Edison meta with battle traps and random recruiters, these sorts of cards. I also want to briefly mention the Unga Bunga Wombo combo thing just because it's fun. And if you go back to the Trident Dragon 3.5 card combo and throw in Quickdraw, well, you can discard baby to summon Quickdraw, normal summon Debris Dragon, bring back the baby, synchro into Iron Chain, use Limit Reverse to bring back debris, bring back the baby, go into the Trident Dragion, pop the baby in the revive trap. It gets 3 attacks, but instead of summoning out a Hammerhead, you summon out another baby from the deck, and then you can turn the Quickdraw and the baby into either a Nitro Warrior or a Junk Archer. And Junk Archer is especially great because it can banish a monster for the turn to clear up room for your OTK. It is cold. I'm gonna put on a sweater. It still has the dinosaurs. The theme is maintained. The deck list tries to accomplish these combos as often as possible. We are not playing many defensive traps besides for Torrential because this is probably the best Torrential deck in the format. You can get so much value out of a Torrential in this deck. It is insane. But we are trying to wombo combo OTK our opponent, and our deck list facilitates that game plan. However, there is a little bit of advantage and control sprinkled on the top with the Kuraz and the Magic Planter, which hilariously also function as combo pieces. The Vortex Trooper is an idea I stole from Macro. Shout out to Macro, one of the coolest guys around. He had a sick capital S alien deck that abused the Limit Reverse Trooper combos, and so this deck needs more consistency, and I like it, and I'm trying it out. Maybe it isn't optimal, but in a combo deck that can brick sometimes, it's definitely something to consider. Graceful Revival is just a Call of the Haunted for level 2 or lower monsters. The dinosaur ratios are a little bit tough, but this is what we settled on. 1 Gila, 1 Sabersaurus, and 2 Hammerheads, and obviously the 3 babies. Also, getting a Gilasaurus off of a baby pop is great if you want to make a Black Rose on the next turn because it is a level 3 dinosaur that you can get out of the deck. The extra deck is extremely tight because we have Debris Synchros, Quickdraw Synchros, and normal Synchros for the Plague Spreader. The level 7 Quickdraw Synchros are the best in this deck because of babycerasaurus. Honestly, there's going to be some games that you lose when you don't have an Android or a Colossal Fighter or the Armory Arm. There's just so many niche scenarios that will come up with this deck, and so it is really up to you which tough decisions you make when sculpting this extra deck. And the side deck is one of my personal favorite parts because you have so many possibilities. I cannot include all of them in this side deck, but any continuous trap that is decent is really great in this deck because you can use it to gain advantage with magic planters when you want to go for the OTK. This is one of the best needle sealing decks in the format, and if you're going against someone that spams cards, well, it's a great inclusion. And Dust Tornado is great because you can set it, activate it, and then use its second ability to set a revival card, and then activate the revival trap on your next turn when you want to combo. I could honestly talk about this deck all day long, and I am so curious to hear other people's ideas because Outback YGO and I have been having too much fun labbing out, testing, debating, all of this stuff. So yeah, I need to cut myself off. Let's get into the duels. This first game shows off what this deck can do if you give it an inch. We're just going to set this Sandgan, set a limit reverse, and pass our turn. Our opponent is going to set a back row, normal summon a Cyber Valley, and pass. Now we are going to activate Fossil Dig. We can get a dinosaur to our hand. We'll get the babycerasaurus. We're then going to special summon the Quickdraw, discarding the baby, activate limit reverse on the baby. Then we can tribute summon this Kuraz by tributing the Sandgan, pop the baby and the limit reverse, and use the Sandgan to search a Debris Dragon for follow-up. My opponent starts telling me that the baby misses timing, but don't be fooled, the baby never misses timing, and then they are gone. But you get the picture. You summon out the baby, you can make the Junk Archer banish the Cyber Valley and then attack, and we drew a bunch of cards, and okay, a good game number one. This next game we are up against this strange ritual relinquish deck, but it's a cool game. They're going to normal summon Sonic Bird, add the Garlandolf ritual from their deck to their hand, discard Harpy Queen to add Harpy's Hunting Ground, activate it, and then pass their turn. We draw a babycerasaurus. We're just going to set that babycerasaurus and pass our turn. We don't want to play into a relinquished. They're going to attack into our baby, set another monster, and pass. And now we draw a Graceful Revival. We're going to activate this Heavy Storm, set a couple of cards, and pass our turn. Their turn, they're just going to flip up this Djinn. It's the Synchro Djinn, an interesting card. And then they go into the battle phase, attack us for 1400 and 1700. And then this next turn is going to be very good for us because we can normal summon Debris Dragon, bring back babycerasaurus, and you have seen this before, the Trident Dragion combo. Use limit reverse, bring back the debris, activate Graceful Revival to bring back the baby, go into the Dragion, pop the baby and the Graceful Revival. It gets 3 attacks. We summon out a Sabersaurus from the deck. And another cool thing is it leaves a face-up continuous trap on our side of the field, so we can activate this Magic Planter in order to draw 2 cards, and we happen to draw and do a quick draw because we're just that good. We can then special summon the quick draw, make a Drill Warrior, and at this point I'm not even calculating. I just assume this is lethal through Gores, but I probably shouldn't have halved it, but it doesn't matter. We're going to attack our opponent 3 times with the Trident Dragion, and then this would have been bad into Trag Gores, but they didn't have it, so GG's. This next game is a replay that Outback YGO sent me from one of their friends, and it shows off just how cool the deck is. I mean, that's kind of what this episode... Anyway, they're going to set the Hammerhead and pass. The opponent's going to activate Trade-In, discarding the Gaia Plate. They draw 2 cards. Activate MST on the Torrential. Normal summon a Koikimero Guardian. Attack into the Hyper Hammerhead. The Hyper Hammerhead will bounce the Guardian to their hand, and then they are just going to pass. they draw a Foolish Burial. They're going to set a couple of cards and pass to the opponent. And then the opponent is going to normal summon a Card Trooper, mill 3 cards, attack into the monster, but it was just a Debris Dragon, so they'll take 100 damage. And then they are going to pass their turn. Terror King Salmon draws a Heavy Storm. They're going to activate Foolish Burial, normal summon Debris Dragon, bring back the baby, and this is interesting. They seem to be doing the combo. So it's just so cool every time. Come on. They're going to pop the 2 cards, summon out a dinosaur from the deck, and this is just lethal. Game number 2 against the Rock deck. The opening hand looks incredible as always. What you'd expect of a dinosaur deck, and 2 Fossil Digs is not too bad. We're just going to normal summon the Sabersaurus, attack over the Sangan. We set 2 cards and pass our turn. The opponent is going to normal summon a Card Trooper, and we decide to Solemn Judgment the Card Trooper. Honestly, not a bad play. I mean, they don't have any rocks in the grave, and this deck has a lot of Gaia plates and cards that special summon themselves, so it's fine. We're going to attack into them with the Sabersaurus, set a back row and pass. They're then going to normal summon the Guardian, activate Gold Sarcophagus for Dark Calling, and then they're just going to pass their turn, revealing another Guardian. We draw a Hyper Hammerhead, and then we're going to activate Fossil Dig to get the baby to our hand. We're then going to special summon Quickdraw Synchron, discarding the baby. Then we can activate Limit Reverse on the baby. We go into a Nitro Warrior, activate Fossil Dig, and this will put the Nitro Warrior up to 3,800. We can add another baby to our hand. We can normal summon the Hyper Hammerhead and attack our opponent for game. Next up, Outback YGO himself, and this is the list that he is playing. He swears by the Caius and the Battle Fader tech, and I respect it, you know. The opening hand looks incredible. Love the Gilasaurus Caius. I mean, it could come up. It's kind of like Cyber Dragon. Outback just sets a Card Trooper in a back row and passes. The opponent normal summons a Card Trooper and attacks our Card Trooper. We draw a Debris Dragon, and then we draw a Magic Planter. We're going to activate Limit Reverse, bring back the Card Trooper, use the Card Trooper to mill 3 cards. We're then going to Tribute Summon a Caius, banish their Card Trooper, activate Magic Planter on the Limit Reverse to draw 2 more. Go into the battle phase and attack for 2,400, and then we pass. Our opponent's going to charge the Light Brigade, mill 3, add a Raikou from their deck to their hand. They then activate Shell, they get a Shell to their hand, and then they set a card and pass. We draw a Heavy Storm. We're then going to special summon this Quickdraw, discarding the baby, use Debris Dragon to bring back the baby, and then we can make a Junk Archer with this combo. This card comes up all the time because babycerasaurus is a level 2. We can banish their Raikou and then attack them for lethal. I am playing against Blackwings. What will happen? They're going to set 2 back row and pass their turn. I normal summon a Sangan, attack directly for 1,000, set a back row and pass. My opponent's going to normal summon a Shura, attack over the Sangan. He will take 800 damage, and then they'll summon out a Vayu from the deck. We're then going to use the Sangan in order to add a Dandelion from our deck to our hand. Then they'll attack with the Vayu for 800 damage. We draw a Fossil Dig for turn, and this is one of the coolest things about this deck, is the fact that Giant Trunade is an extender. So we can activate this Giant Trunade, bring back the Sangan, the call will go back to our hand, the Sangan will get destroyed, and we can add a Debris Dragon to our hand. I love this deck so much. We're going to special summon the Quickdraw from our hand. We're then going to use Fossil Dig in order to add a Gilasaurus from our deck to our hand. We're going to special summon the Gilasaurus. They cannot bring anything back because they don't have any monsters in the graveyard. We're going to Tribute Summon Kuraz and pop their Shura and one of our tokens. In this instance, I'm trying to play around Kalut, but in the end, they didn't end up having it, so don't play around Kalut. But we also draw into some good cards. We are going to summon Drill Warrior, attack over the Vayu with the Drill, set 2 back row, use Drill, discarding the Saber, and pass our turn. My opponent normal summons a Blizzard. They bring back the Shura. They're then going to set 2 back row and pass, and we draw a babycerasaurus. We get back the Drill Warrior. We are going to add back a card. They chain the Icarus attack, but we do have the Starlight Road in order to get out the Stardust. We get back Dandelion, and then we are going to use Drill Warrior, discarding the baby to banish it. Normal summon Debris Dragon, bring back the baby. We go into the Iron Chain Dragon, activate this to bring back the debris. We're then going to go into the Trident Dragion and pop the Call of the Haunted, so this guy can attack twice. We go into the battle phase, and they activate Compulse on Stardust. So I definitely shouldn't attack. Sometimes they just, I have no excuse. I think I was just so mad in the moment that I just had to attack. They're going to normal summon a Shura, attack directly with both of these cards, but we are still not out of this game. We draw a card trooper, the Drill Warrior comes back, we can add the debris to our hand, we can then use Drill Warrior, discarding this Dandelion, we can normal summon the debris, bring back the Dandy, and this is just Black Rose Dragon. We are not out of this game. We summon the Black Rose, use the effect, they will activate Bottomless, but that is fine with me. We also get these 2 tokens, and then we are just going to pass our turn. They normal summon a Sirocco, attack a token, and then they pass. We get back the Drill Warrior, use Drill Warrior's effect in order to add the Dandelion. We special summon this Quickdraw from our hand. We get the 2 tokens, and in order to play around the Kalut, we go into another Junk Archer. I swear this card comes up all the time, and we have not yet normaled, so we can normal summon the Card Trooper, and this is lethal. What a bright, sunny day in the Curse Tech multiverse. My favorite thing about this deck is the fact that it's hard. It is a difficult deck. I mean, the combo lines are complex, your decision trees are wide, and the days of Dinosaur Duelist's hardest decision being whether or not to activate a floodgate are over. This deck is the way to play Dinosaurs in Edison format. I will say that again, even though I've been wrong many times in the past, but maybe this time? I don't know. Let's talk about the pros and cons. The pros. Number 1, this deck wombo combos like no other. I mean, you can kill your opponent on turn 2 all the time, and you do it in one of the coolest combos I've ever seen in the entirety of Edison format. Also, for a combo deck, it has a decent grind game. I mean, your combo enablers in Kuraz and Magic Planter also get you resources and advantage, which is the dream scenario for a combo deck. And number 3, you're playing Dinosaurs. You are playing Dinosaurs and winning some of the time. I mean, that's more than Dinosaurs were winning before, so. And the cons. Number 1, you can brick. I mean, you are playing combo enablers that need a certain piece to be somewhere, and this leads to a lot of weird hands with slightly too many Graceful Revivals. Number 2, you lose to what other monster combo decks lose to in Edison format, Royal Oppression and Christia. These will ruin your day. Just that. Number 3, you normally need 1 turn to set up. Setting your combo pieces on the field is sometimes a really big problem in Edison format. Often a Heavy Storm or a Raikou or just any disruption on that first turn when you're trying to set up can really set you back for a lot of the game, and you need to rely on a well-timed Black Rose to get back in. But overall, if it wasn't immediately clear based on how much effort I've put into this video, I think this deck is competitive. I'm gonna put it as competitive on the Cursed Tech tier list, but remember, that doesn't mean it's Vayu Turbo. It is going to struggle against the meta. I am just saying that it can at least compete. It is probably better than Montage and Sasuke Samurai. There is really no way of saying at this point until it gets any results. Not that the other ones have got any results, but you get the idea. I think this deck is so much fun. There is something there It breaks dinosaurs in a way that has not existed in Edison format until this point, and I am so excited to see what people come up with and develop with this strategy, because personally, I'm going to keep developing it because I've been having so much fun playing it. Every single time I would play, my opponent would ask me for the list afterwards, and that is a good sign when compared to other episodes when after a match my opponent would just make fun of me. So once again, the biggest shout out to Outback YGO for taking me under his wing and labbing this out with me. I mean, we spent hours and hours building this deck up, and I am so proud of the place it has reached. The Dino Dream is alive and well, and there is only one catch. Don't look up the price of Trident Dragion. Don't look it up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, this was a fun one. I will see you in the next one.